Hi, once again, this is Natural Solutions. We're going to make gluten-free pizza. Now, for those that have been enjoying the 90 for Life nutrition with the Dr. Wallach's 90 for Life message with longevity, and you're trying to go gluten-free, you're getting all your 90 nutrients, and you're learning how to reverse 900 different health issues. Now, this is the Aldi's brand Live G Free pizza mix. I found this one of the easiest and the most tasty for the ease of making that I found. And what we do is, okay, we just open a little box here, and you're going to need a few items here. You're going to need something to mix with here, and you're going to need a mixing bowl, and you're going to need, I got it said about 6 tablespoons of olive oil, but we know that causes free radical damage and oxidation. No oils, Dr. Wallach says. So I melted some butter in advance, and butter tastes just as good. You need an egg, and then of course, you know, your pizza ingredients. I got black olives and green olives and banana peppers and jalapenos and cheese and stuff like that. And you know, and I got some nitrate and nitrite free salami we can add to the top, you know, because we want to avoid the nitrates and nitrites as well. And then we got some hot water, about a cup full of hot water. We got our pizza sauce. I like this Great Value here. It's an Aldi's. It has a great taste to it. A Great Value pizza sauce. It's really good. So then we got our Bob's Red Mill flour, just to have a little extra to spread out, and you'll see why. And it's gluten-free baking flour. You can get that at Big Lots, okay? Bob's Red Mill gluten-free baking flour, just to add just a little bit of pizzazz to when you're trying to spread it out. So what we're going to do is, as the instructions say, you're going to, and the hot water is about 110 degrees, just extra warm water. And we have our little spatula here to get the stuff off the spinners as we, you know, turn on the mixer here. And so now we also need, of course, the pizza pan. I use the same thing all the time, the pizza pan. And we have also what we didn't want to get hit with. We got an old school rolling pin. Old school rolling pin. Don't you mess with me. All right. And so now we're going to start the process of making our gluten-free pizza. A gluten-free pizza. First, we open the flour here that came out of the box. This is the gluten-free flour, and we just open it up and we pour it in the lovely handy dandy. I'm blocking my mixing bowl here. We pour it in this mixing bowl here that is handy and dandy. Just dump it all in there. Now it says it can make 2 different pizzas, but for me, I like using a thicker flour. I like using it all together. Instead of making 2 pizzas, I like using one, and so I make a thicker crust, and that's the reason why I do that. And then also, as I'm reading the instructions here, it says, then you take the egg and you lightly beat it. And so what I'm gonna do is, I use a little convenience. I got a little fork here, and I take the egg, one egg, and I crack it in where the butter is already melted. It just makes more sense instead of using 2 different bowls. Since I got it right there, I might as well just crack it, and then I can take it and just beat the egg in with the butter. You know, just be gentle, try not to spill it. And we just beat that in, just so the egg yolk is busted up. And then we just, now you can pour the water straight in with the flour, but what I do is I add the water in with all of it, so then I got 1 point to mix with. So I added the water in with the butter and the egg. So then as I pour this in, you know, just kind of pour it around. Pour it around. All right. Now the next thing is, oh, by the way, you're going to have the oven preheated to 450 while you're doing all this, okay? So let me go do that, and I'll be right back. All right, I preheated the oven, and now comes the fun part, really the part I don't like the most, I guess, is using this, the mixer bowl here. Usually my daughter would help me do that, but you want to turn it on 1 as well, because you don't want it to fly up too much. And so, you know, or low as you can when you're mixing it. And what happens is, as you're mixing out, you know, you got to make sure that you kind of get around the edges and everything like that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to mix it and we're going to come back and then pull out the dough and show you. Now when you finish mixing it, you know, it's going to be a little bit sticky here. It's going to be, you know, because you don't want to have too much moisture. So you're going to have to get it off of the mixer because it's going to be thick. And actually, the drier it is, the more you can work with it. And kind of, you kind of got to find that fine area, you know, where you can have it just moist enough where it's not cracking on you. But at the same time, you don't want it too moist because then it becomes so sticky that every time you touch it, it sticks to you and you can't get it off of anything. And so as we're getting it off of here, you see, it takes a little effort. And this is the reason why, I'm going to tell you, to be honest, why most people, why we have gotten lazy in our American society. I'll just say American society because I don't know about other societies because I live here in America. And we've gotten lazy and we don't do some of the old school things that we used to do. But it was better. I mean, you know, you got the flour here and you're doing things from scratch. And this is not 100% scratch, but I mean, you know, it's not just buying it already pre-made and all that. And there's a certain empowerment that you get when you do it yourself, okay? So as we're going to take the flour out, I'm going to show you how to work with it. So as we take the flour out, just going to remove the bowl here. Okay, we're going to move this to the side to get it out of the way. And so now we're going to, if you can, you got your pizza pan here. You got your pizza pan. And if you want to throw a little bit of flour just on the bottom of the pan, just to kind of help it to kind of like not stick, you know, when you're trying to get it off, just a little bit. You can kind of take it with your hand and rub it around, you know, to kind of get the flour kind of on there, but not that much. Just a little bit, probably a soup spoonful, you know, and you mix it around the whole pan like that. And then you take your flour batter, and you know, this is going to, the pizza batter actually. And what I do is I take a shortcut so I don't have to try to lift it off the pan, off the table, and try to make it, because sometimes it's really hard to get it off the table. And so what I use is the extra dry flour that's at the bottom. I use it on top because sometimes it's hard to work with when you're using the rolling pin, and the more drier flour that you can have immediately without using the extra Bob's Red Mill, it's pretty good. So then you kind of take it and you kind of start working with it, you know, just to kind of get it into a ball a little bit. You know, you kind of work it and get it into a little ball, and then from there, you know, you say, okay, I can start to, now this is the bootleg way of doing it, you know, because you don't have to pick it back up. So I start actually using the rolling pin and shaping it while it's on the pan so that I can actually not have to move it twice. And so I just start working with it to get it into the shape of the pizza that I want, and get kind of thinning it out as well. And so as I do this, we're going to come back and show you how to top it off. And so here we are. We've kind of rounded it. You know, we've taken the rolling pin and we just kind of shaped it. It's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be because this is your personal pizza. Now, before we actually put the toppings on, what you have to do is you have to pre-bake it for about 8 to 10 minutes so that it kind of has a little bit firmer. It'll firm up a little bit. And then you take it out, and then when it gets a little bit brown on here, just not that much. And I normally put it like, okay, let's say it's in the oven and the burner's like, it could be here. I don't put it low. I put it up a little bit higher in the oven so that it's not too close. So as it browns, it doesn't get too brown on the bottom. So let's say 8 minutes, and always set your timer because you know how we do. We get busy and everything. So I'm getting ready to put it in the oven, and then I'll bring it back out, and then we'll start to top it. All right, we have the pizza crust here, And on the instructions of the box, it talks about taking some olive oil and rubbing it on top of the crust that's been baked a little bit. And what we do is we take some butter and we just kind of go over it lightly, instead of using the olive oil. And so that way we're not flooding our body with the free radical stuff and all that. So just take a little butter knife and just go over it with a little bit of butter, and just to oil the top like the instructions said to do. And then we're going to start to add the toppings. Now, the first thing you want to add is the same spatula that we use to take the flour out of the bowl. You want to rinse that off. And so now, see, I even got some good green peppers out of my garden. This little, but I had several green peppers out of my garden here that we're going to use as well in the toppings. And I got my toppings all together. But you want to add the pizza sauce first. So what I told you about the great pizza, great something value. There's a good value, great value pizza sauce from Walmart. Has a good taste to it. And so we're going to just add it on. I want to add it on liberally because I don't have any tomatoes to add this time. So I always like my stuff tomatoey. And so what you do is you just kind of spread it around. You just kind of add it on, and you spread that topping around to where it's covering everything that you want. And you don't want it too lumpy. You just want to spread it real even. Now, like I said, I want a little extra, so family just have to deal with it. They eat all my pizza anyway, so they like how we do it. And so as we begin to add the toppings, like I said, my garden green peppers, we got the black olives here from Aldi's. I'm doing everything economical. We got the green olives. I've already poured the juice off and everything, so I can just do it quickly from Aldi's. We already got the banana peppers from Aldi's as well. Aldi's is the store. And we got the shredded cheese from Aldi's, as well as, now this came from Walmart. This is the when you look at one of my other videos, where to shop and what to buy, this is the salami from the Natural brand by Hormel. And so this is nitrite-free, preservative-free, uncured meat. And so we're going to add that as well. It smells wonderful. And so we're going to show you what it looks like on the other side. All right, you see we got our pizza all topped off and everything. I haven't baked it yet for the last baking, but I wanted you to see. Now, I like to add a little bit of pizzazz to my pizza sometimes. This is either Dollar General or Aldi's garlic powder. I just want a little garlic pizza. So I just add just a sprinkle all the way around, just to add a little pizzazz to it. You don't have to do that. And also, if you want to, you can add some oregano or something like that. And then, so what we do now is we take the cheese. I wanted you to see the toppings before I put the cheese on there, because then it's like all you see is cheese. All right, so as we add the cheese on, it doesn't take any special skill. You just kind of cheese it up to the way you want it. Some people like more, some people like less. So I normally start in a circular motion and just kind of go around, and then kind of, just fill it into how I kind of would want it. So I kind of like mine a little more cheesy, And so we just add the cheese to make sure it's evenly covering everything. And so when you're cooking it, it's going to be about 10-15 minutes. You just kind of watch it. Set the timer. When the cheese melts real good, and it's kind of brown, not too brown, but, that's pretty much it. So now we're ready to put this lovely pizza. I just like extra cheese. I'm sorry, y'all. So this is what it looks like before it comes out. Just want you to see. And so we're going to put it in for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to be eating dinner. All right, here we are with the completed product. It's kind of hot, so we're going to do our best to show you here. I just took it out the oven. All the cheese is melted, all the ingredients. I didn't put onions on there this time. Well, I think my wife might appreciate it. If you want to, you can sprinkle a little onion powder on in the process if you didn't put real raw onions on there. And this is gluten-free pizza. And so everybody can do this. And it's just, once again, it's Live G-Free at Aldi's. If you have any questions, give me a call at 317-892-9311. And happy eating. Oh, one more thing. You're going to need one of these to cut and get the slices the way you want. You definitely you want to invest in one of these. It makes life a lot easier. See you next time.